you where the fish
Triple,
are.
triple! Get in there!
Tell you where the
That's a
fish
nice
are.
fish.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you where the fish are.
Woo!
Hey everybody, Chris Schaefer with Team Pautzke here today to talk to you about fire dye. Now fire dye is new, it's exciting, and guess what guys, it's easy to use if you use it on the right product and you're using it properly. The reason why we're here today, we're going to talk to you about dyeing sucker minnows with fire dye. Now, sucker minnows are probably the hardest minnow on the planet to dye, and we're going to show you how to do it today with it. So we've pre-mixed red, we've pre-mixed blue. Remember, it works on red, chartreuse, gold, and blue are the only 4 colors of fire dye that work on live bait. If you use the other colors, you're going to kill the bait. So exactly, what do we do here to make this happen?
Well, you need to make sure they have cold water
Okay.
to start with. You need to have aeration on them at all times.
That's the most important thing, guys. If they're not aerated, guess what? The minnows are going to die, just like if you didn't use fire dye and you had minnows on it, those are going to die that way too.
One other point too, if you're out on the ice trying to do this, you got to make sure that you keep them in a place that's somewhat warm, just so that they don't, the water doesn't gel up in ice.
Yeah, you don't want them to freeze.
You don't want them to stress
Right,
out.
okay. So, it's pretty simple. Tell them exactly what they need to do and how to do it.
Okay, so I've got my bottle of dye, so I'm going to pour that in first.
So we're doing a whole bottle only because these are sucker minnows, okay? If you're using fatheads, using shiners, you'll be able to use a lot less. But right now, sucker minnows are the toughest thing to dye, so we're going to show you the short version. If you need to get out there and fish right away, this is how you're going to do it.
Okay, so one other thing that I do too is I take the bottle that I just used and I will actually fill that up with cold water so that I get all the color out of the bottle. But we have bottles already mixed here. So that's 1 bottle. 2, 3. That would be 16 ounces of water added to your color.
So that's 16 ounces in addition to a bottle of fire dye. Now you're going to put the gold in there. We've already pre-mixed the gold as well. So again, we have 4 colors and you want to make sure to aerate them at all times. You want to make sure to use the proper mixes if you want your bait to be vibrant and really have that punch to it. If you don't, you know, it's not going to work as well as you'd like it to work. So all we're doing, dipping them, and we're going to add sucker minnows right into these. And of course, you may have different size containers at home. We're just using something simple right now. This is what we have. You know, you can use anything you want, as long as they're aerated, it'll work. One of the things we want to caution you of, if you use a 5-gallon bucket and you simply pour some dye in there, it's going to dilute the solution and it's not going to work. So yes, it is a little bit of work to get your dye to work properly, but you'll see in a little while how well worth it is. So right now they're in here, and what are we going to do?
We're gonna let them soak. You can check on them periodically. Typically what I'll do is I'll check them every 5 minutes, see how the color's coming along. We should be pretty good to go in about 15 minutes for quick soak.
So we'll be back in 15 minutes to show you exactly how far they've come. Okay guys, it's been about 15 to 30 minutes. And again, the longer you let them sit, the darker they're going to get. After what, a couple hours, they're going to reach a maximum point.
Yeah.
As you can see here, even after only 30 minutes, we got some pretty vibrant colors. So what we've done, just for viewing purposes here, we've taken them out of those containers, put them in massive mason jar looking things, and Kim's going to show you how quickly these things have changed. It's amazing what the blue has done. And we can literally dip that in water, drop it around in a hole. Can't get any bluer than that. All right, so we're moving over to gold. And gold is a little bit different than the other ones. Gold isn't as shocking as blue or red might be, but it does make everything gold, and it's pretty exciting. Normally it would be very silvery. Now, what's awesome is they're alive. The dye has not really hurt them in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, so I'm going to show you, just because the gold is kind of a lighter color, the difference between one that's uncolored and one that's gold. You can really see the difference. I really like using the gold. I like that light color like that. I think that's a wonderful color, and it does add a lot.
Now there's your chartreuse. If you look at the belly, normally it's very silvery. Right now it's chartreusey. And when you see it in the water, it's even more impressive, and through the ice, it's pretty amazing. Look at the colors on the red. Pretty impressive. Okay guys, now remember a couple of things here. The longer the soak time, the better you'll do. Most important thing, keep them aerated at all times. Another thing to consider is, you can put these back now in regular,
Yes.
all these can go in a, if you take these out of here, put them in your 5-gallon bucket, aerated bucket, you're good to go.
Yep.
Just put them in clean water. Another thing, remember, lake water folks, if you use water from your sink, what's gonna happen?
You're gonna have the chlorine in there, it's not good
And
for
that
them.
could kill them. So
Yeah.
there's other factors besides the fire dye here. So again, fire dye suckers, this is the hardest thing to do. If we had shiners out here right now, or fatheads or any of those kind of things, they would turn right away. Suckers is one of the toughest things to do. We hope you go out there and catch a lot of fish.